Okay, let's dig into this. Imagine you're out in your garden, maybe on your farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start thinking, what if you could actually, like, talk to your plants, not just water them?
Yeah, communicate somehow.
Yeah.
Using sound, vibrations. It sounds a bit out there.
It does. But what's really fascinating here is exploring how someone is trying to make that practical for agriculture.
Right, not just a philosophical thing, but actually applying it.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about. We're looking at the Endodynamics AG3 system. It's a pretty unique farming approach built on, well, pretty much that idea.
And our main source today is an interview with the founder, Alan Lopez.
Yep. So our mission for you listening is to really unpack this. Cut through the hype, maybe?
We want to get to the core components he describes, how he claims it works, the thinking behind it,
Yeah.
and the results. What does he say it actually does for farmers or gardeners? Basically, a shortcut so you're up to speed on this interesting topic.
Sounds good. Where do we start? The origin seems important here. Right. So according to the interview, it didn't start with saving the world or anything huge. It was specific.
Okay.
Growing really good natural grapes for fine wines.
Mm.
In California, Redwood Valley.
Ah, so quality focused from the get-go. For their own vineyard initially.
That's what it sounds like. That intense focus on quality pushed them to look past the usual farming methods.
And that's where the philosophy comes in, this return to beginnings idea.
Seems like it. They were looking for something more natural, maybe more fundamental, holistic.
Which led them to explore this communication angle with nature.
Yeah, exactly. Interacting on a different level. That's how he frames it.
So communication, how does he say that actually happens,
Wait.
practically speaking?
Well, the interview mentions using sounds, specific dance vibrations, and music.
Dance vibrations, okay. So it's not just background music then, it's more targeted.
Seems like it. Like
Yeah.
sending specific signals, which leads to their core discovery, as they put it.
Ah, right. This is where it gets really interesting. They didn't just think about it, they experimented.
And found, according to them, that plants aren't just sitting there. They actively react.
They change their behavior based on different vibrations they receive. It's not just hearing, it's a response.
A physical response
Yeah.
to these subtle energies, yeah. And the big breakthrough, they claim.
Being able to tune in to specific frequencies.
Exactly. Turning in to communicate his word with the tiny stuff. Microorganisms, bacteria, enzymes.
The plant's own systems,
Right.
all at a vibrational level. Wow.
If you think about it, it suggests they're trying to influence biological coordination, like at the tiny level.
Just using these vibrations, like an energetic instruction manual.
Kinda, yeah. Okay, so let's get into the system itself, the AG3. Three main parts working together, they say, for a harmonious environment.
Okay, component one.
It's called Seedling Harvest Root 2 Fruit. It's a microbial soil amendment.
Right, a soil amendment. We know those. But what's special about this one, according to the interview?
He says it encourages the patterning and energetics for key plant stuff.
Patterning and energetics, like setting the stage.
Yeah, helping with digestion, moisture, mineral uptake, nitrogen fixation. Basic but crucial things.
Okay. And he claims it works where? Just the soil.
This is interesting. He says soil in the atmospheric areas around the plant.
Atmospheric areas. So above ground, too. How does that work?
The claim seems to be it creates this beneficial microbial and energetic field that goes beyond just the roots.
Huh. Okay, so that's the amendment, setting the environment. What's next?
Component 2, plant chant stimulus.
Plant chant. Okay, this is the sound part.
Yep, a trade secret copyrighted soundtrack made specifically for plants.
A plant playlist. What's it supposed to do? Just make them happy.
Huh, maybe. But technically, he says it stimulates growth and energetic acceleration.
Energetic acceleration. Meaning?
The idea is the vibration, the rhythm, coordinates all the biological bits, the plant, the microbes to work better together.
Ah, like getting everyone in sync, on the same wavelength, literally.
Exactly, for peak performance. So how do you play this special track across a whole field?
Good question. That must be the third part.
It is. Component 3, Sonic Max. It's their wireless sound system.
Okay, speakers in the field. How does that work logistically?
They say it uses a hive pattern layout
Yeah.
for good coverage
Right. And it just plays the plant chant.
at specific automated times. The goal is that continuous flow of vibrational info, encouraging everything to thrive based on that soundtrack's pattern.
So amendment preps the scene, soundtrack gives the instructions, sound system delivers them. That's the AG3 trio.
That's the core system as described. But there's another piece they mention,
Oh yeah, what's that?
a partner system. the hybrid crossfuser. It's about the water.
Ah, water. Can't farm without it. So what does this crossfuser do?
It's another trade secret, patent pending thing. A water conditioning system.
Conditioning water, meaning filtering.
Well, more than that, they claim.
Yeah.
It's supposed to reduce water use, remove harmful elements, and this is unique structure or blend nutrients in the water.
Structure the water. What does that mean for the plant?
The idea seems to be it improves how the water and the nutrients in it get absorbed, makes hydration more efficient, better plant health overall.
Okay, improved water quality and delivery. How does it connect to the sound system and the amendment?
He says it works together with them, part of the whole AG3 package.
Mm-hmm.
It optimizes the water side.
Got it. Makes sense to include water.
And there was another really interesting claim connecting water and sound. They suggested the sound stimulation might actually help plants take in atmospheric water.
Wait, pull water from the air using sound.
That's the claim, which, combined with the structured water, could seriously cut down irrigation needs.
That is quite something. Did they explain how or how they measure that?
Not in detail in this source.
Yeah.
Just mentioned it as something they've observed, that the frequencies might help the plant use environmental moisture. It's definitely one of the more out there claims.
For sure. Okay, so we've got the parts, the philosophy. What about the payoff? For you, the listener, the farmer, the gardener, what are the benefits they're pitching?
Well, a big point in the interview is making it simple, easy, and affordable, especially for small farmers and home gardeners. That seems core.
Accessible, okay.
Yeah.
And the actual results. What do they promise?
The big three.
Ah.
More yield, better quality produce, and lower costs than conventional farming.
Higher yield, better quality, lower cost. That's the hat trick every grower wants.
Pretty much. Plus, they say using it consistently can help you get organic certification, maybe within 5 years.
Organic potential, too. And do they have proof? Their own results?
The founder says yes. They've seen significant gains in quality and quantity in their own labs where they track this stuff.
Okay. Beyond the farm's profit, what about, like, sustainability? How does it fit there?
They pitch it as sustainable in a few ways. Less water use, obviously.
Right, with the crossfuser and maybe that atmospheric water thing.
Eliminating chemical fertilizers completely. That's a big one.
Definitely.
And just generally fostering healthier soil and plant ecosystems. You know, a more natural, holistic approach overall.
Makes sense. You mentioned plant health earlier, brix levels. How does the system affect that?
Ah, yes, brix. Often seen as a sign of plant health, sugar content. They claim the system pushes and drives brix quality.
Leading to
Healthier, more vital plants, which means better natural defenses against pests and diseases. Hardier plants, basically.
higher brix, fewer problems.
Got it. And back to water, saving the structured water and the atmospheric intake. That's how they get major reductions.
That seems to be the core of it, making the water work better inside the plant via the crossfuser, plus that potential sound-assisted atmospheric moisture uptake. They claim it adds up to needing significantly less irrigation.
Okay. Now, costs. You mentioned lower costs. They gave a number, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty eye-catching one. 60% cheaper than chemical fertilizers when used right.
60% on fertilizer alone is huge.
And beyond that, they suggested it could potentially cut overall farming costs in half when the whole system's running smoothly.
Have your costs. Wow, if that holds true.
That's game-changing economically.
Absolutely. And they talked about the bigger economic picture too, right?
Yeah, helping small farmers boost revenue, which helps local GDP.
And specifically mentioned making products from places like Africa more competitive internationally, promoting fairer prices globally. It's a big vision.
It really is. So if someone's thinking about this, how quickly do they see anything happen? What's the timeline?
They gave some specifics. They claim immediate soil changes, like breaking down a salt barrier in just the first 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's fast.
Right. And then the bigger things, yield and quality improvements, they expect within the first year, which is still pretty quick for farming changes.
First year for yield bumps. Okay. That salt barrier claim in 2 weeks is bold. It suggests a very rapid impact.
Definitely. Okay, shifting gears slightly, what about support and the science? How do they back this up and help people use it?
Well, they describe what sounds like a pretty solid support network. Fast local distribution for the amendment, on-site dilution help if needed, actual experts on the ground for training and seminars.
Feet on the ground, yeah.
Plus manuals, electronic access. Sounds like they want to make it easy to adopt.
And the science part, what validation do they offer?
The founder mentioned working with university agronomy experts during development
Okay.
and claims it's backed by scientific tests. Says they track soil evolution in their own labs rigorously to prove the results over time.
So they position it as tested, not just theory or anecdote. What do they see as the main thing setting AG3 apart?
The emphasis is really on that holistic blend, science and nature.
Right.
And they keep coming back to simple, easy, affordable, especially compared to chemical approaches. It's framed as truly sustainable, good for the planet, good for the farmer's wallet.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
And there was one last thing, a financial angle.
Ah, yeah, the affiliate program. Farmers using it can earn commissions if they refer others.
So a way to potentially offset the cost.
Exactly. He suggested farmers might even cover their system expenses just through referrals. Builds a community, lowers the barrier.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this deep dive up. We've looked at the endodynamics AG3 system,
Started with that quality grape focus, that return to beginnings philosophy.
leading to the idea that plants actively respond to specific vibrations.
Then we broke down the parts, the soil amendment, the special soundtrack, the sound system.
And that interesting water conditioner, the hybrid cross-fuser, all working together.
And we've covered the benefits they claim for you, making farming easier, cheaper.
Boosting yield and quality, helping with organic goals, big sustainability gains like less water, no chemicals.
Better plant health, like higher brix, and even potential economic boosts for local areas, all supposedly backed by science and good support.
Right. This whole exploration really highlights how these innovative, maybe unconventional ideas are challenging how we think about farming.
Yeah, blending potentially ancient concepts about nature communication with modern tech. The results they claim are pretty profound if they pan out.
It definitely leaves you thinking, and maybe this is the final thought for you to mull over. If plants do respond this significantly to sound and vibration, like this system suggests, what does that really tell us about our connection to the plant world, about their complexity?
And maybe what other kinds of communication or interaction are happening out there in nature that we just haven't tuned into yet? What else might we discover?